Okay, so let us see how to set up let us see how to set up HTTPS certificate on Jenkins server. So by default, when you install Jenkins, HTTP protocol is used to access the Jenkins server. But you can make it HTTPS by adding the certificate in the server configuration. And what are the steps that are needed to do that? So these are the steps. First, you need to create a key store with self-signed certificate in Java. Then open Jenkins configuration file and add arguments. So I'm gonna come back to that very soon. After you add the arguments in that Jenkins config file, you have to restart the service, Jenkins service, and then you can access the Jenkins server from the browser. So first time when you try to see the Jenkins server in the browser, you will see the certificate invalid error because this certificate that we have created in the first step is a self-signed certificate, okay? And browser doesn't trust it. So in the last step over here, what you have to do is that you have to import that certificate in Windows Trust Manager, add it under trusted authorities. Okay. And then once it is added in the trusted authorities, then browser will trust it and then it will not show any type of warning message. Okay, so first thing is we need to create the self-signed certificate. This is the command that you need to use. Okay. So this key tool is the command actually provided by the JDK. And as you know, Jenkins server runs on the JDK. So you need to make sure that you are using the correct key tool from the correct JDKs because if there are multiple JDKs, then that there can be a confusion. Okay. So just ensure that the JDK that Jenkins is using, you have to go in the same JDK and get this key tool and then run this command gen key pair, generate key pair, alias is Jenkins, then key algorithm RSA, key size, validity of the certificate, key store. So this key store over here is actually user defined key store. So we are creating this key store ourselves. This is a custom key store where we will store this certificate details. Then the store password and the key password. After that, we have to give the certificate details, right? Country name, organization, then SAN. SAN is very important. SNA is very important because without SAN, Google is not going to accept the certificate or trust the certificate. So, what this command does is that it creates a file in this directory. So, I ran this command from this directory, so it is obviously going to create a file in that directory. And the file name is jenkins-keystore.jks. Okay, this is the certificate. All you have to do is that you have to tell Jenkins that use this certificate to serve HTTPS traffic. Open the Jenkins XML config. Now, next thing is you have to open the Jenkins XML config. So you have to go to the C program files and Jenkins. This is where I have installed Jenkins on my Windows system, and you can see this is the file that we have created in by executing that first command. And you will find that configuration file over here, jenkins.xml. So just you have to open it in the Notepad++, and then over here there is this argument section. So you have to update that argument section, and over here what you have to do is that so we have to pass this jar, and then so over here you can see the arguments section is there, and what you have to do is that you have to pass the arguments to this command. So basically we are saying that okay, Jenkins, use this specific key store to serve HTTPS traffic, and this is the password to open that key store. Here we are telling the address. So right now it is localhost, and then there is this port. Okay, so this is the port on which it will serve the HTTPS traffic. So this HTTP port you can put -1 if you don't want to support HTTP traffic, but if you want to support both, you can put other port name number. But if you don't want to block that, you can put -1 over there, and then web root is this one. So once this is done, just close the file and then restart the Jenkins. Okay. So in Windows, I have installed it as a service. So you have to go to the services.msc, and there you will find that Jenkins server over there. You have to restart that. So here is the services on this Windows system. So just right click and then click on restart. Once it is restarted, you can go to the browser now and then hit your Jenkins. So right now you can see this Jenkins is running on this port. So make sure that you are using the correct port, and you can see this HTTPS is being shown. But in your case, what will happen is that it will say that certificate is not valid. Okay. For that, what you have to do is that click here and then click on connection is insecure or secure, and then click on certificate thing. So here it will say, right now it is saying certificate is valid, but in your case it will say invalid. So just click there, and then you have to basically go here in the details and then click on export. This is gonna export this certificate. Okay, as you can see, I already exported it here. Once the certificate is exported, what you have to do is that you have to install it in your Windows system. So just double click on that certificate, and then it will start this certificate import wizard. So over there you can click on install the certificate, and then you can create local machine, select local machine, click next, click yes, and then you have to select place all the certificates in the following store, and then you have to click on trusted root certificate authorities, and then click OK, click next, and then click finish. That's it. And then next time you go to the browser, you are not gonna get any warning.